Greetings, St. Mary's community, and let me again welcome you to the start of our 2020-21 academic year. Earlier this summer, one day before Juneteenth, I sent this entire St. Mary's community a message commemorating Juneteenth, the news of the groundbreaking emancipation of African Americans in this country, the first time that it reached Texas. In the same message, I expressed horror at the death of George Floyd, one of several recent terrible incidents of racial injustice and brutality. I expressed that dialogue and concrete action will be necessary for St. Mary's to become and to stand as an anti-racist university. Community-wide discussions are going to be essential so that faculty, staff, and students are informed about and sensitive to racial injustice, inequality, and implicit bias. Already a number of fall programs and lectures are scheduled to address these, and soon we'll send you, the St. Mary's community, a calendar of events and lectures to which you are all invited. I also announced in my Juneteenth message that we would be establishing a President's Council on diversity, equity, and inclusion later this summer to promote further dialogue, but also to make specific recommendations, concrete recommendations that could be implemented in the coming months. Well, the council's now formed, and you see on the screen its membership. It includes faculty, staff, alumni, and student leaders, the presidents of student government, and the Law Student Bar Association. I've asked Professor of Law and former Provost Andre Hampton to chair the council, and he has graciously agreed. Professor Hampton will say in just a few minutes a few words about the work of the council. Let me close by encouraging you all to participate in these important conversations by attending this fall some of the programs and lectures that I earlier mentioned, and to work with each other as a Marianist community works to advance racial justice and to promote respect for each and every member of St. Mary's community. Thank you and God bless. And now, Professor Hampton.
Hello, it's me. I'm Andre Hampton, Professor of Law and Chair of the President's Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Honestly, I have to tell you that when President Mingler invited me to chair the council, my first inclination was to decline the invitation. I had just witnessed the demise of George Floyd, an event that affected many of us. And I watched it with the realization that it was just the latest event in a long series of racial injustice in the country. This angered me. And in that anger, I felt that I could be of no use whatsoever to anyone on this issue. But I am a citizen of St. Mary's University. And as she has in the past, the university has appealed to the better angels of my nature. She has in fact called me to love. I have agreed to serve as chair of the council because I believe that our institution, which is inspired by love, is being called upon to express that love in a way that will enable others to overcome their limitation on this issue of grave importance to our country. There is really not a plan at this point. The council, which is composed of every facet of the university community, students, faculty, staff, and alumni, will meet every 2 weeks to begin to discuss how the university can address this call to love. Now, although there is not a plan, there is in fact a vision. And for me, as with anything that the university undertakes, it actually begins and ends with the university's mission. As a Catholic and Marianist university, St. Mary's fosters the formation of people of faith. We educate leaders for the common good through community, integrated liberal arts and professional education, and academic excellence. Every facet of our university mission statement underscores the role that the university can play in beginning to address the stubborn persistence of racial inequality in the United States. As a people who are formed in faith, we are impelled to address circumstances in which disproportionate indignities are imposed on any of God's children solely because of the happenstance of their skin color. The council's work is part of a larger prayerful discussion at the university and conversation with religious scholars, which will enable us to better understand the connection between our faith and our desire for equality. We educate leaders for the common good. My dream is that we can graduate students to be effective scholars for the cause of racial justice. In order to achieve this, members of the council, indeed the university itself, will need to learn that which we do not know. The sad fact is, the history that led to the death of George Floyd in particular, and generates the current demise in our national psyche, has been told and retold by historians, political and social scientists, and other scholars. It is really time that we begin to distill the content of this learned research and investigate ways to encourage its use in addressing the racial inequality in the nation. As a community, we must look for ways to set an example for others to emulate. This again is going to require internal reflection by individuals and the institution on the role in which race plays in the way we structure our community. The question of who we invite into the community as students and employees, and in fact, the manner in which we relate to the external community, to the university. And finally, because we have integrated liberal arts and professional education, we have all of the tools necessary to gather the information, assess data, and explore the legal, political, and structural inequities which have so long prevented these United States from living up to the potential for which God truly blessed America. At the end of the day, however, we are an institution that is inspired by love. And it is with that love that we will undertake this present endeavor. Thank you.